Our wine of the week this week is extra special because we're tasting it and filming this actually in situ. We're at Bodega Lustau in Jerez in Spain, maker of some of our favourite sherries in the whole world. This bodega was actually built in 1862, although Lustau didn't take it over until 2002. The company itself, though, Lustau, was founded in 1896, so it's fairly historical, although in 2000 it was bought by a much bigger group. Essentially, though, the company remains medium-sized and absolutely devoted to real quality in their wines, which is one of the reasons why we love them so much. We're tasting now an Oloroso, one of my favourite sherry styles, and this, in my opinion, is the best Oloroso that Lustau make. It's actually, really, if you ask me, the best Oloroso that you can buy, and the one that I would always choose to drink if I was in the mood for Oloroso. It is their Empress Eugenia Oloroso. Empress Eugenia was born in Spain, but she's much more associated with France. She went there to study in her youth and ended up meeting Napoleon III and marrying him. And of course, they spent most of their married lives in Farnham, in Surrey, of all places, after they had to leave France. But she does have a connection with Spain generally. And in 1920, at the grand old age of 94, she visited Jerez and apparently was introduced to the founder of Lustau, who was so taken with her, even at that great age, that he decided to name a wine after her. So who knows what she did to remain that alluring at 94, but good luck to her, or well done to her rather. I love Oloroso because of the depth of flavour and, for me, the layers of complexity. It's the oldest style of wine made in sherry, which means that it spends longer in barrel than any other style. The aging of wine in barrel is the essential secret to the wines of sherry. That time in a container that is not hermetically sealed and that is stacked, as you can see I'm leaning slightly uncomfortably, but that's okay, against a stack of barrels at the moment, so that air circulates all around it, means that there's a constant interplay between the wine and the oxygen, and that interplay is really responsible for the flavours that you find. Oxygen rubs away any vestige of fresh fruit in wine. Not that there's an awful lot of fresh fruit to begin with in sherry, but there's not a trace left in something like Oloroso at this stage. What you get, though, is amazingly delicious all the same. Nuts, caramel, toffee, fruit cake. And what I absolutely love about this Oloroso is that you have all those flavours, but it is completely dry. So it's not a cloying, sticky, slightly overbearing style that you find very bad versions of, certainly in the mass market. On the nose, it's brilliantly complex. There's always something like cumin. There's a very, very heightened spice, but then lots of richer, oily, roasted nut aromas as well. Oh, that's just so good, so relaxing. A really wonderfully viscous, thick texture, which is what happens when you age wine in barrel for a long time. Because of the evaporation, it does acquire this amazing viscosity. Wonderful flavours of hazelnuts and toffee, and then round the edges, quite a fresh spice actually. So this is never, for me, at all overwhelming. Of course, there is the alcohol to contend with, and it's a sherry, so it's high alcohol, but it's not too much. This is incredible with manchego cheese. It's one of the great food and wine matches of the world. Or just sipped by itself after a big meal if you really don't have a sweet tooth. I don't have a particularly sweet tooth, but you want a nice kind of digestive thing to drink after dinner. There is nothing in the world I can think of that I would rather drink.